And here we are at Gunnersbury again, and this is the site of the Perennial Meadow. It's the last day of work. We've spent 4 days on here, and as you can see, we've got two different shires today. There's William and Joe, and what they are doing, they're still giving it one final rotivate, which does this to the ground. You can see these lovely furrows, and in about an hour or so they will be sowed by seed. And Tom, the head horseman, is just giving us a demonstration of the seed sowing machine, and that is the seed sower. So it's just like a wheelbarrow really, and it just has, you load the seed in the bar and there's little brushes which spin around and it releases the seed. And this seed sowing machine is over 100 years old, and look how simple it is. You know, such a low footprint on the ground, just very gentle, you know, so different from a big agricultural machine that spills out diesel and fumes and causes great compaction to the ground and, you know, crushes everything beneath it. So it's a real good day today. It's quite mild, there's a gentle breeze, there's still a bit of moisture in the ground. This Perennial Meadow, it's not going to be anything like the Cornflower Meadow. We're not doing it for show, we're doing it for diversity and for wildlife. Oh, we've got some dogs intervening, dog owner running to get her dog. Those horses are so good, you know, they don't get startled at all. And Operation Centaur, Tom and the team are just, they've been amazing. And they've had a very, very busy few days over at the Royal Parks and Hampton Court. And they're such a good team. I mean, it's so great to keep this kind of tradition alive. And I'll just go and show you some of the machines that they are using. I mean, the process of creating a perennial meadow is basically you rotivate it, and that's what we've just seen, and then you harrow it. And a harrow, it's called a chain harrow, and we have a chain harrow over here. So the process is rotivating, and then that is followed up by a chain harrow, and that is also pulled by the horses. So that rucks up the ground after it's been lightly rotivated. And then, as you saw earlier, Tom then seeds it, and there's our bag of seed. And then after it's seeded, it's rolled with this roller. And then you don't irrigate it. These are wildflower seeds. They're adapted to survive. And they all start germinating when the time is right. It's a little bit late in the year for seeding now. We're doing it right at the edge of the seeding season. Ideally, we would have done it a few weeks earlier, but when you're working with horses and, you know, the weather and nature, there's no point fighting it. You've got to work with it. So that's our Perennial Meadow. So wildflowers will be coming up in this bit of grass. So it'll be very subtle, not like the Cornflower Meadow. And talking of the Cornflower Meadow, here we go. Right next to the Perennial Meadow is the Cornflower Meadow, and that is for you guys. That's for all the visitors and supporters of Gunnersbury, and it's also, of course, for the wildlife, and pollinators love it. It's just a great display. So we've got two meadows side by side, and then the other extra attraction is the Sakura cherries. And I'm delighted to say that all 80 of these cherries have survived, and they're all looking really healthy, even a few flowered. So that's some really positive news from Gunnersbury, working to keep our environment diverse for all that visit. And here they come again, if you want one last shot of Joey and William. And you can see Tom there, so he's following up where the horses have rotivated, and I don't want to startle them, just get out of their line of sight. Here they are, and the machine that they are pulling is the rotivator. So that's being rotivated there. What a lovely sight. Amazing. And there is Tom following up with such a simple bit of kit that's over a century old. I'm so pleased to have him at Gunnersbury. It's made such a difference. And as always, that is it from Gunnersbury. Hope you have a lovely day.